All right, so we're here with Charlie Coyle. Charlie, welcome to Subjectively Speaking.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course.
Yeah, we're very excited to talk to you. So, obviously, you got your off season started out really exciting with the signing of your new 6 year contract with the Columbus Blue Jackets. So, this past season saw a lot of change for the organization. It also saw some of the highest excitement and highlights that this fan base has seen in the last couple of years. So how would you describe your first season in Columbus?
It was definitely up and down. It I feel like the first half, it was like three different sections, honestly, when I think about it. Like the first half we were kind of just like we were just riding the wave. We're up and down. We're winning a few, we're losing a few, winning a few, losing a few, and we're kind of playing 500 hockey. We kind of knew the potential we had in that room, and it just like it just didn't feel right. It's like we weren't able to produce what we had in there, and like we knew it was there, and we just couldn't get it out. And then you start to figure things out about yourselves and your team, working through stuff. And then, of course, there's big changes, there's coaching changes, there's a couple trades, bringing a couple new guys in, um, and then sometimes those things can spark a team. Sometimes you're missing something that you need, and someone comes in and helps that out. But I think as the season goes on too, like you just learn more about yourselves, and you talk a lot more, and you just see what works, see what doesn't work, and you make adjustments. But we did that, I think, individually as a team, and then having those new pieces definitely helped. And then all of a sudden we go on this tear for about 2 months where we were the best team, top whatever two, three teams in the league during that span, and everything's going great. And it was like this is what we knew we had, and then all of a sudden towards the end, it's like we kind of just we lost it a little bit, and we knew it wasn't going to be like that for the rest of the year. It's a tough league, especially when you're trying to make playoffs, and there was so many teams in the hunt at that time. Of course, we had a couple timely injuries with guys who play big parts of our team. That hurts too. But I think even putting that aside, like those excuses aside, we didn't give ourselves the best chance to make playoffs, and we kind of strayed away from how we were playing for those 2 months where we were the best team, and we weren't doing that consistently anymore, and it came back to bite us.
Well, and I always hear folks say, like, even when things don't go the way you want it to, everything is data, right? Everything is information that you can use heading into next off season or into this off season rather and into next season. And so I'm just wondering from your perspective, obviously, right, like every guy in that locker room is going to be motivated to the nth degree after coming up just short this last year. And I'm just wondering, what are you taking away from this last year, and what are you hoping to be able to expand on heading into the next season?
Well, there's a lot. Like every season individually, you want to come back. You want to come back a better player. You want to be able to produce more, and like for me personally, yeah, of course, I want to keep producing. Like I know I'm on the back nine, right? Like so, I'm getting older, but I still feel in great shape. Um, I feel good about myself, my game, but I want to keep pushing it, and that's something I've always tried to do, and something I'll continue to do. But also not just on the ice, but I guess it translates on the ice a little bit, but just my leadership and what I can bring and be more vocal, leading by example, like I've always done, but having more of a voice and not being afraid to kind of step up and maybe say things, maybe bring stuff up that I've seen from teams that I've been on. I think that's a useful thing of guys who have been not just playing for one organization. I've been around, I've seen this, I've seen that. I have that experience that I need to share, and it'd be a detriment to the team not to share what I've learned, both good and bad, that I can relay to the guys and that can maybe help in ways. So I'm really looking forward to doing that a little more. It's nice to be solidified now that I'm here, that I know I'm going to be here, and putting all my efforts towards this next 6 years and beyond. It's exciting. So individually, but also as a team, like we need to realize and go over and figure out why we didn't get to playoffs, and what kind of deterred us off that path, and the path that we found, and we're going on for 2 solid months. Like it wasn't a fluke that we were winning and we were playing the way we did. It wasn't like we did it for a game or two or a week or two. It was pretty solid consistently. It wasn't perfect throughout, but like overall, it was pretty solid. So we know it's in there. Like we know what we have and what we can bring. And now it's just about like not being stubborn about playing the right way. It's hard. Sometimes it's boring hockey. And but the boring hockey and over, you get results. And we definitely get results when we do that because we just play the right way when we play that boring hockey. And I say boring. It's not always boring because you play the right way, you score more. Scoring's exciting, right? But it's like those little things, the boring little details over and over to get to that end result. You can't just get the end result right away. And making too many risky plays and 50-50 plays where, yeah, if you make that pass through, we're probably in, but if not, it's in the back of our net. Like there's little things like that we have to kind of grow up and realize and be a little more mature about our game. But it's in there, and that's what I'm excited about. And it's one of the reasons why I signed back here is because I know what we have in that locker room, and I'm excited to play a part in getting our team to that next level, which is playoffs and beyond.
Yeah, and we obviously love anytime a player sees the potential and like buys into what we know as fans we have here in Columbus. And that's always really influential for us. And obviously, there was a lot to take away from this past season, especially after Rick Bowness took over the bench or from behind the bench. And we've heard you and others say that the way he communicates is part of what makes him a special coach. So how does Bones communication style differentiate him from other coaches that you've had in your NHL career? Like essentially what's in the Bones Kool-Aid?
It's special. Like I really love it was a half a year, but I just really, it was like right out of the gates, honestly. And then it grew and grew, but what he brought is exactly what we needed. To kind of get everyone on the same page and just the communication part, whether it's with like the leaders on the team, the captains, or if a certain line, if he's just walking by in the locker room, like he's talking to you, saying something to you. I don't think it's in his being that he can just walk by someone without saying something or like giving you a tap on the shoulder or something like that. And it's refreshing. And like every coach is a little different. They all don't do it that way. And it's not like you need that way. That's the only way. I've seen a bunch work and not work, right? But that's just how he is, and I really love it because he brings that, and that he's with you on this. Like we're all one. We're all going for the same goal, and he's just trying to get the best out of you. And he can hold guys accountable, which is huge too. Like he's not just this like buddy friend, tap you on the shoulder, talk to you, and shoot the crap a little bit. Like he'll hold you accountable, and that, and that's what you need. He brings those both sides that are so crucial and you need in a coach. So I was very, very, very excited that he was coming back, and then when I signed back here, I told him and I said, you better extend another 5 years because I want you for the full 6 I'm here. But the communication is just such a big thing, and just getting everyone on the same page. Like there shouldn't be any question, any hesitation, whether you're going over video or something within our system or anything. Like he always says his door is open, go in and talk to him about anything. And that's the best way to do it. And it's something that I've learned. Like I'm not an overly talkative person. I'm really not. And like, I don't like doing it. And especially with a coach, sometimes you're younger, you don't feel that comfortability. And, but with him, and maybe I'm older too. I mean, I know I'm older, but, you feel that with him right away, and just not afraid to, like, I could pick up the phone right now and call him and I'd be like, no questions asked, like no hesitation. But you need that, and it helps you on the ice. It helps the team. Everyone knows where they stand, whether they're out of the lineup. He just brings that, and he's a hard guy not to like, and hard guy not to like to play for. Like you you have those guys and you want to win for them because you just know that you're all in it and you're all one team and he's on board.
Well, absolutely, and I mean it's clear too. I mean, we're on your team. If you can find a way to get him to stick around for 5 years, be our guests. If you want to keep beating that drum, we'd appreciate it. But I think especially in all the coverage of your signing and extending in Columbus, I feel like every single time you hear somebody talk about just how influential you were on the ice, because that was clear, right? One of your best seasons in the league, and like you said, you're not slowing down anytime soon, but you can't hear that without also hearing somebody say something along the lines of what a great guy you are off the ice or what a great leader you are off of the ice. And I just wonder, you've been in the league for a minute. Are there any players that you emulate your leadership philosophy off of? Are there any guys that you maybe developed in the league around that teach you a little bit about how to lead in a locker room? And just with that in mind, how do you see your role kind of evolving with the Blue Jackets moving forward?
There definitely is. Every captain or leader I've played with, I think they all bring a little something different. Like no two guys are alike. I played on teams where there's like the Boston team I played on with. Well, we had Chara there for a bit. I go on and on about Chara, but I think we kind of get everyone kind of knows how big Z is and what he brings and how he is as a person. Same thing with Patrice Bergeron. Like those are like they're on top. Playing on that Boston team with him, we had Brad Marchand, who's a little different than a Patrice Bergeron, the way he is, like different reps, but like both bring such good leadership qualities in their own ways. And then on one of the teams we had there, we had Nick Foligno, who was here. He was on our Boston team. You bring in another prior captain into that mix, and what he brings, it was like it was awesome. And just like you had so many different guys like to turn to and learn from and hear from and watch, and how they come to the rink every day and how they treat their teammates, how they really invest in the time to talk with them and create relationships, and knowing they really care about each other and one another. It was like that's so much of it right there. And that's like I didn't even say anything about like on the ice, that's all off the ice stuff, but all stuff that will translate when you have those relationships with people. You build trust, and then you build like I want to go out and play hard for that guy because he cares about me, I care about him, and then you play better. Like I've learned that over time, like that aspect of it, having the leadership qualities to do that and build relationships. So it's something that I've tried to work on, and I'm continue to work on, but seeing it from previous people who I've played with and learned from. And then like a guy like Mikko Koivu, who I played in Minnesota, he had a short stint here. He was my first captain in the NHL, and just the professionalism that he had, and just how everyone kind of viewed him. Like when Mikko talked, you listened, and he could be very stern and just like, but he just had that high regard, and everyone respected the heck out of him. And he played the game the right way. So I take a little bit of pieces from everyone, and you try to take all the good qualities that you've seen and try to instill in yourself and kind of add to the tool belt. But I've gotten a really like to experience some of the players that I've got to play with and learn from has been very crucial for me. And again, that's why I have to relay those qualities and those things that I've learned to now where I am, the team that I'm on, to the guys that I'm playing with. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not saying I'm those guys at all, but I strive to be, of course. Who wouldn't? But I'm doing the best I can to try to relay those messages that I've learned, and that can help us down the road.
Well, and I think from a fan perspective too, we've already been able to see the effect that you've had, especially on the younger core that the Blue Jackets have. And you can really see that in whatever line you're playing on, you know, from the bench perspective, like from what we've seen from behind the scenes. So like, I definitely think that you are making a much larger impact than maybe you feel right now. But you can absolutely see it from the fan perspective. And it's why we're also excited that you're going to stick around for another 6 years. And obviously, we could talk to you about hockey all day long, but we like to end our interviews with like a couple of fun questions to get a little bit of personality, extra personality out of our guests.